to the world 24/7 from Africa, South Sudan, and Uganda.
The US Secretary of State says the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees will have no role in the future governance of Gaza, claiming it's a subsidiary of Hamas. Speaking at the coordination center set up to oversee the ceasefire, Marco Rubio repeated the Israeli government's position days after it was discredited by the International Court of Justice.
The UN is here. The UN is, we're seeing the work they're doing, the World Food Program. There's also not-profit NGOs, humanitarian assistance organizations that are involved in this, Samaritan's Purse. So it's a conglomeration of about 8 to 12 groups that are here. The United Nations is here. They're on the ground. We're willing to work with them if they can make it work, but not UNRWA. UNRWA became a subsidiary of Hamas.
More than 30 countries that support Ukraine have agreed to step up the pressure on Russia's Vladimir Putin to negotiate an end to the war. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy warned of a humanitarian disaster at a meeting in London and urged Kyiv's allies to enhance Ukraine's long-range weapons capabilities. The British Prime Minister Keir Starmer hinted the coalition of the willing may provide more missiles that can strike deep into Russia. The Pentagon is deploying an aircraft carrier strike group to the Caribbean to step up operations against drug traffickers hours after a US strike killed 6 alleged Venezuelan narco-terrorists. While the Trump administration says the strikes protect US citizens, critics argue the real aim is to topple President Nicolas Maduro. Meanwhile, Colombia's President Gustavo Petro is rallying against sanctions imposed on him by the US. Washington is accusing Bogota of being complicit in the illicit drug trade and of failing to stop the flow of cocaine into the US. The US Treasury Secretary says that since President Petro came to power, cocaine production in Colombia has soared to its highest level in decades. And Afghanistan and Pakistan are set to hold a new round of talks in Istanbul. Senior officials from both sides will be meeting a week after both sides agreed to a ceasefire in Doha. The relationship between the two countries remains on edge following days of deadly border clashes. Pakistan accuses Afghanistan of turning a blind eye to armed groups that cross the border for attacks.